Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Brandon again, and today we're going to talk about a very controversial subject, and that is how much money you can make on YouTube. But before we get into that, I do want to mention that this video is sponsored by a new show coming to Upwave on HLN called The Tim Ferriss Experiment. So let's take a look at a quick clip.
Sunday nights at 8, starting December 1st on Upwave on HLN. Author, life hacker, human guinea pig. Welcome to the Tim Ferriss Experiment. Watch Tim Ferriss deconstruct, decode, and demystify some of the world's toughest challenges, pushing his abilities to show you how to take the impossible and make it possible.
Everything's firing and trying to make sense of it. This is the type of fear that I need to overcome because it's not logical. Get ready to hack your life and discover your highest potential. The Tim Ferriss Experiment, coming this December on Upwave on HLN.
So as you can see, Tim goes on all these challenges and then kind of relates that back to a life lesson so we can get some kind of benefit out of it. Now, if this show interests you, you should know that it does premiere on December 1st at 8 p.m. on the HLN network. But if you want to get a sneak peek of the first episode, you can do so by clicking in the link below in the description box, and be sure to subscribe if you are interested. Now on to the subject of the video today, and that is how much money you can make on YouTube. The reason I want to do this is I think people need to know because there's a lot of misconceptions out there. Now with this, I think a lot of YouTubers don't want to disclose this either because they're embarrassed because they don't make as much as people think, or because they make a significant amount and they don't want you to know. Either way, most times people will say, oh, I really want to make this video, but I can't. And I kind of thought the same thing at first as well, because a lot of people said you just can't talk about it. It's in your agreement, it's in your contract. So what did I do? I scoured through my contract and I read it several times, and I couldn't find anywhere that says you can't disclose how much you make. There's just nothing in there. Now I will note that I do have an agreement with a partnership program called Fullscreen, which you guys probably are familiar with, that I can't actually disclose my terms of that contract with them. I will say, however, that they do take a portion of my earnings, and I will reinforce that fact when we go over my earnings, which we're about to do right now. So let's go take a look. All right, so first things first, I'm going to take you to a site called Social Blade. I know a lot of you guys are probably familiar with this. This is the one that I like to use, although there are many other examples of sites like this. Basically, what you can do is you can go and you can type in different YouTube channel names and get some information about them. So what we're taking a look at here is particular dates, subscribers, both what you change per day as well as your total amount. So for example, on the 26th of October, I got 81 new subscribers to put me at 46,632. It also gives you your video views, in this case 33,000 video views, and it tells me my grand total after factoring that in. Contacts, this really isn't a big field anymore. Back in the day before YouTube changed everything, these numbers were a lot more higher, but for the most part, you don't really add friends on YouTube anymore. And then it has your estimated earnings per day. Now, please note that it does give you a range, and you should also note that this is directly tied into the amount of views you get. So sub count doesn't really count as much as views do. So the more views you get, the more corresponding money you get. And you can go through here and it shows you each individual day. Now you will notice on some days it might not give you the actual subscriber count, or it might not give you the video count as well. So in this case, it didn't update for 3 days, but then when it finally did, it was a significant amount. So those days where it didn't update, it said I made $0, and then that one day where it updated a lot, it told me I made probably a lot more than I did. So although these numbers are a good way to get a general idea, what I typically pay attention to is more here towards the bottom. This is your averages. So you have daily averages, your last 30 days, and your yearly projection. So in this case, I'm averaging about 112 subs per day, which is great for me, and average video views of right around 13,000. So that way we kind of even out some of these days where we don't have any video views, it says, and other abnormalities where it says, in this case, 39,000 views. So on average per day, I'm getting right around 13,000, which equates to roughly anywhere between $6 to $78. And over the course of the year, that should mean somewhere between 2.3 thousand and almost up to 28,000, which would be really nice. Although you'll see in a second, it's not anywhere close to that. It also gives you your 30-day projections, and we'll kind of take a look at a little bit of this as well. But again, this is for someone who in my case has just over 50,000 subscribers. In this case, I think I'm actually higher than this number here because, again, sometimes this site isn't so fast to update, nor is YouTube itself. But again, this gives you a great idea. So I will link Social Blade in the description box below if you guys are interested in checking out some of your other favorite YouTubers. Now, just for comparison's sake, I'm going to pull up one of my favorite channels. Y'all know who it is. What's good, YouTube? Chris Jones, representing Physiques of Greatness, and also representing an average of about 160,000 views per day. So over about 130,000 more than what I get. So that's going to equate to a lot more potential earnings. So this is an idea of someone who has a much larger channel. In this case, 285,000 subscribers. You could also, if you want, I'm going to go ahead in here, and you guys can't see this right now, but maybe you can hear me typing. I'm going to type in the Hodge Twins channel. So here you have Twin Muscle Workout. So in this case, they have probably about 3 times the amount of subscribers that Chris Jones has, but you'll actually notice their daily views aren't as high as his, which again correlates to less money overall. So it's not always about the subscriber count, it's how many views you get. So now that we have a rough idea of what to understand, because again, with this we're looking at averages, I'm going to take you into my YouTube analytics page itself and show you exactly what the numbers are. Alright, so here you have my analytics page for, again, Campbell Fitness TV. This is over the course of the last 30 days, only because I didn't want to show you just November, because that might give you the wrong impression. So we're going to take a look at the last 30 days, so a whole month on YouTube. And as you can see here, there's some different analytics. You can see my performance, so 374,000 views. This green triangle just denotes that it has increased since the last period, so it's up 22%. Estimated minutes watched as well. And then finally, what most people are concerned with here, the total estimated earnings. Now, so for the past 30 days, about $970. Just to do some quick math on here, over the course of 30 days, that tends to average out to be about $32.33. Now, it's also very important to note the fact that I am partnered through Fullscreen, which does take a percentage of my earnings, not to mention that none of this money has yet been taxed. So at the end of the year, you do have to pay taxes on all of your YouTube income. You see some other engagement stats down here. So 13,000 likes, up 44%. So you guys are definitely liking my shit, but you're not sharing my shit apparently, although my shares are up 33% from the last period. This is really a big thing that I pay attention to personally. I like the fact that you guys like my stuff, as is evident by the engagement. So 13,000 likes compared to 500 dislikes, 8,000 comments, which I can proudly say I have responded to all comments, which I'm able to. And that means that if you haven't got the new Google Plus or you don't have your settings fixed right, I might not be able to reply to you. But if you've left an initial comment that's not spam, I've definitely replied to you on the video. So I'm proud of that fact. And you just see some other basic information. I see a lot of green triangles, which is good, which means things are going in the right direction. Now, you can also see some top 10 video information. So my top 3 biggest supplement scams, although it's a video that I created back in July, I've gotten almost 30,000 views on it in the past 30 days, which has equated to roughly $94 of income for me in the last 30 days. So you can see that this is my most popular video by far, and it just gives you a breakdown of how everything's performing for me. Also see some of the geographics, excuse me. Most of mine is in the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and Germany. I also am predominantly male watch, which I don't really have a big issue for that. I know I'm nothing to look at, ladies, but hey, show me some attention, please. But there you have the basics for the past 30 days. Now you can actually change some of this stuff too. So I've actually been partnered with this channel for just over a year, I believe. So I'm going to show you the last 365 days because this will give you a good idea of how I've been doing for the past year. So as it goes ahead and updates, you can see here the performance, about 3 million views. You can see that this is starting to trend upward a little bit, which is good. Estimated minutes watched, same things. Total estimated earnings for the past 365 days is about $7,386. Again, please note that that will also be affected by the revenue share that I'm doing with my partnership program, as well as I do have to pay taxes on whatever I get after the fact. So that number is inflated as is. Taking a look at this just randomly off the blue, a lot of likes, a good amount of dislikes, but look at this one day. Look at that. Look at it. I don't remember what day that was, but look at that. I had a lot of dislikes that day. 100,000 comments, again, all of which I can say I've replied to, so I haven't had much of a life after that. Not a lot of shares, but you have the basics here. Now, showing you from my video perspective, my top 10 videos from the past year, it's still the top 3 biggest supplement scams video, which has gotten about 166,000 views, which has equated to, again, about $560 worth of income off of one video. Now, again, this is for me, somebody with about 50,000 subscribers who averages around 10 to 12,000 views per day. Imagine somebody who's averaging 150,000 views per day. Significant gains in that case. There's other stuff I could go in here and show you. You can split this into, this quarter, last quarter, Lifetime. If I go to Lifetime, you shouldn't see a huge amount of difference. Well, you do see a little bit. So since I actually opened this channel, and that'll say Lifetime April 30th, 2012, that's when I registered my channel. However, I don't believe I started posting videos until October of that year. So like I said, the channel's been up for probably about 13 months right now. And in that time, $8,223, which then of course is cut based off my percentage share, as well as it's going to be cut a lot more when I have to pay taxes. But that's what you get. So on average, like I said, I make roughly around $30 per day. Now, if we were to go back to this little guy, let's take a look at this and see how the numbers stack up. So daily averages, it says I should be making somewhere between 6 and 78. As we mentioned, I'm making about $32 per day. Over the course of the last 30 days, I've made $970. Again, it's saying somewhere between 194 and 2.3 thousand. And yearly projection somewhere between 2.3 and 27.9. Again, I'm at about 8,000. So I would say I'm in the lower third of these projections, but that's what it is. So let's get back to seeing my totally ugly face. So there you go. What I want you guys to do now in the comment section below, if you could, is tell me, was this in line with what you were thinking? Is it more? Is it less? Just give me any kind of feedback. As again, I just showed you exactly what I'm doing on here. Now, the reason I wanted to do this again is just to be upfront and honest with you guys. I think I have the luxury that a lot of other bigger YouTubers don't have, where I don't rely on this as a main source of my income. I have a great job, which I'm more than happy with, and I like to dedicate my time to this, and I look at YouTube as more of a hobby. So that being the case, I have no problems disclosing this information to you. Now, I should also note, as I've already mentioned, that I am partnered with Fullscreen, who does take a percentage of my profits, as well as the fact that all the money that you see here today is before taxes. So you then have to consider 30 to 40% out the window, because you know how the US government works and we all need to pay for Obamacare. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Regardless, we'll get back to fitness related videos in the forthcoming ones. But in the meantime, as always, thanks for watching and stay big.